Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you guys can hear. You guys can hear me, right? Can you hear me okay? What's up? How are you guys? Hey, can I be honest? I feel like I'm streaming for the very first time. Yeah, I'm in my new studio. I actually feel like I'm streaming for the very first time. I'm so nervous. Oh gosh. Does it sound different? It's a bit echoey, right? It's a little more echoey than it was before. I don't know if I can fix that anytime soon, but it doesn't sound too bad, right? Oh yeah, sure. Actually, let me go ahead and update those links. Just give me a second here. I actually forgot to do that. Copy. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, okay? Community. Let's see. Where is that link? Where is that link? Here it is. Okay, so I just updated the link on the main channel in the community section, so you can check the community section link. I updated the link, so it should take you over to the Discord servers. The echo is good. I'm not too happy about the echoing. I have a friend who is actually an expert in audio engineering. He tells me that it doesn't sound too bad, that the atmospheric ambience is actually helping with, giving the spatial feel of this place. That it doesn't sound too broadcasty. I think that's the way he expressed it, and I kind of agree with him to some extent. But anyway, so this is how it's going to sound and look for the time being. I'm not going to be making any significant changes to the audio or the video for the time being. This is what we're working with from now on until the near future. So how have you guys been? Oh shit, I'm still on the Discord. Wait, hold on a second. How have you guys been? I haven't been streaming. I haven't been uploading in quite some time because I was so busy. I've been so busy moving everything here and getting this place set up and running. So I really missed you guys. How are you guys? Yeah, this is it's my new studio. It's my first day. I was here since around lunch. I think I was here in the morning, around 11 in the morning. I've been sitting here all day, organizing things, setting things up, trying to get everything the way that I wanted to. I've been doing some testing also because I'm using a different computer, different microphone, a lot of the other stuff are pretty much the same. But I'm using the biggest change, actually one of the biggest change that you can't see right now is I'm actually using a different computer. And I don't know how well this is going to hold up, but hopefully it holds up okay. Yeah, I think it looks cozy too, except over on that side because I'm trying to have like two different... There's an area over there that I will be using it for different purposes. And there's the other side of the room over there, it looks kind of different because they're like bricks and like cement bricks on the wall over there. So I will be using that to film other stuff as well. And so we'll see how it works out. We'll see how it works out. KY Uni says that he or she's been doing great. Yes, we are actually very close. So press that like button, press the thumbs up button. Hey, how crazy would it be if we actually hit 1 million tonight? Maybe we should just keep streaming until we get to 100. We get to 1 million. How crazy would that be? Right? Oh my gosh. Oh, the Cookie Monster shirt? I've been wearing this for like 3 straight days. 저 어제 To Anyone 콘서트 다녀왔어요. Oh, I actually know that group. Well, not personally, obviously, but I've heard of the group. 다녀와서 거기서 느낀 걸 영어로 말하고 싶은데 어렵더라고요. 어린 시절 추억이 떠올랐다고 말하고 싶은데 분명 이렇게 말하면 돼요. It reminded me of memories. It took me back. It gave me a lot of memories. It gave me a lot of memories. It gave me a lot of memories. I don't know if what I'm looking at right now is the real-time data that I have on my screen here. Oh, okay, so I can refresh it. And all right, so we are 133 subscribers away from 1 million. We just need 133 more subscribers. Just 133 more subscribers and we hit 1 million. Of course, not all of these are people watching right now, and I probably lost a lot of these viewers, but we're only 133 people away. Can you believe that? I don't know. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, do you guys? Yeah, we're so close, actually. I don't have the gold button. I mean, how would I know how I would feel without even having received it yet, right? So it's too soon to celebrate. I don't want to celebrate too soon. So anyway, so I don't even have the countdown clock today, and I don't even have the logo up here. Do you guys actually see a logo down here? Because from what I understand, I should have this. I should have the branding feature on my channel, and you should see a logo down here. You don't see it? You don't see a logo like anywhere on the screen? You don't see a logo? No? Really? Oh shoot. Okay, we'll do that next time. We'll do that next time. Yeah, it's okay. No, not yet. We still have 133 subscribers left. Wait, let me just yeah, okay, so we're still 133 subscribers away from 1 million. And it would be, I mean, I'm guessing it won't hit 1 million like tonight. We probably won't hit 1 million tonight, I don't think. I don't think so. Well, okay, well, I guess you could say that, but not even half of those subscribers watch regularly anyway. So, it's just a number, right? It's just a number. You look so... Oh, really? I do? Oh, man. I am completely wrecked. I'm just so tired after moving everything and just trying to get everything set up. Oh, man, it's been a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the subscription. I hope you can stick around. Yeah, and up and running, that's right. Oh, did you say that? Man. You should have made a bet. We should have made a bet. Kim Tae. Oh, yeah! Dude, I think I actually remember you. What? How come I haven't seen you for so long? Gold button has to be on the wall. I'm telling you, if I get the gold button, I guess I will be getting... I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely going up on the wall. Sure. 죽어도 이 표현만을 하자. 100만 기념 영상 만드시. Yeah, probably. But you know, I don't want to be dramatic. I hate being dramatic. Like being dramatic about some English expressions? Come on. That's pathetic. Well, okay, let's be real about one thing. Being a YouTuber isn't really it's not really what a lot of people think it is. It's real. I mean, I obviously did not think that this channel would grow to the size that it is. But let's be real, you know. A YouTuber is just a job, right? It's not for everybody. I don't recommend it to everybody. But there are a lot better jobs than this. Hey Johnny-san, what's up? I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to get adjusted to this new environment. Today is my first official day that I'm working here. I've been here since this morning, working all day. Not my regular routine because I spent pretty much all day getting everything organized, getting things set up, so that I could get this up and running as soon as I could. Everything seems to be working okay so far. I'm not getting any weird issues with like electricity because that was actually one of the things I was worried about. I thought I was gonna run into some issues with maybe some electricity or things like that, or maybe like too much noise from the neighbors. I do have upstairs neighbors. This building is actually a residential building. There are people living in this building above me, but this and my next door neighbor, which is a coffee shop. I haven't been there yet, but anyway, so my next door neighbor is a coffee shop, and this room here and my next door neighbor are the only two rooms that are not like residential areas. So for some reason your audio much better than at your... Is it really? Interesting. Maybe, I don't know. One of the things that my friend, like I was talking about earlier, my friend is an expert in audio engineering, and he tells me that having some ambience noise, a little bit of echoing, maybe not like as far as echoing, but having some ambience is actually better for the audio. It gives it a richer sound. It's kind of hard to explain, and I hope that's the case. I don't know. It is my pleasure to be with you at this time. I mean, your first live chat in this room. This is your first time tuning into our live stream? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Yes, thank you. I'm excited as well. New studio camera 뭔가 더 광각인가요? It could be that the camera is a bit further away than I usually have it. The reason is because this desk is actually a lot larger than the one that I was using at home. The desk I was using at home is a lot smaller than this. So yes, the camera is further away from me, so I probably do look a little smaller in the frame. I may have to do something about that. Maybe I'll switch the lens and use maybe a different lens or something. But for now, this is what it's going to be. This is how it's going to look. I'm getting ready for work and just listening to you, and I can feel your excitement in your voice. Yeah, I certainly am excited. I mean, it's also kind of scary. And I was actually telling JC before I fired up the stream. Oh, wait, hold on a second. 저 교환학생 갔을 때 영어를 너무 못하는 것 같아서 힘들 때 도움 많이 됐는데 그때가 한 40만 정도이셨던 것 같은데 벌써... Wow. Yeah, I mean, obviously there was a time when I only had about 400,000 subscribers, right? And to be at this status right now, it's kind of unbelievable. Thank you very much, and I'm glad I can help. I'm glad I can help. And you're doing okay now? Are you back from your exchange student program? Welcome to the stream. This is your and thanks for the membership Thanks for the membership support. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the membership support. We have YG leaving a voice for us.
Hi. Did you guys get up too much?
I'm sorry, what'd you say? Did you guys get up too much? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Get up too much? 이제 모자 던지는 거 못 봐서. Why don't you show us your entire residential office someday soon, please? You mean this space here? You want to see the entire space? I don't know how I would do that actually. I mean, there's really not much to see at the moment. You will be seeing a lot more than you're seeing now, because I will be filming in different areas of this space. So you will be seeing it in future videos, but I don't know. Wait, can I? What if I hooked up that thing over there? Well, hold on a second. I don't know if you guys can wait. I don't know. Look, I don't know if this is gonna work. Okay. Let's see. How do I? What happens if I push this? Whoops. Whoa. Hey, that's. Oh, so it's it's working. Wait. Okay, so that's behind me. Like, you can see me, right? So that's behind me. So this camera, it's working, right? Can you guys actually see me? That's and wait, but how far will this thing go? So anyway, so that's like behind me, and over on that side, I don't know if you could, there's a whole nother section over there. I don't know if you can see that. There's a whole nother section going. There's a lot of empty space over there. And there's more space over there. That's a whole nother room. That's an entire another room over there. I can't really show you everything, like every single space, because the camera won't go very far from this desk. So, but yeah, it's a pretty big place. It's a pretty big place. Yeah, I'll you know, when I can get to it, sure. How do I go back to the? All right, there we go. Nobody wants to meet. Nobody's gonna want to see me eat. Who would want to see me eat? Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. Thank you very much. Yes, this is actually a very, very. It's just so much. I feel like I can do. It's so inspiring. You know what I mean? It's really inspiring me to do a lot of the things that I usually don't even imagine doing. But because I have so much space here, I feel like I can do so many things. And another thing that I really want to do in the near future is actually partner up with an editor who I can actually use this space with, and you know, like we can like work together and make content. But I'm not even sure where I would begin looking for an editor or looking for anyone who I can partner up with. I really don't know. So I guess I'll have to look into that. I have no idea. I don't even know where to look. Like, where do I find one, right? They don't grow on trees, so. Are you at your new office? Yes, this is my. I'm streaming from my new office. My home. It was okay. I mean, you know, but it felt, well, first of all, there's a certain amount of discipline that is required if you want to work at home. If you want to work from home, you have to have a lot of discipline. And I think I used to have that, but somewhere along the way, I feel like I lost the discipline to work from home. And I was feeling, it was just, I couldn't really get things done properly. And I really wanted more space because there are things that I want to do. And that's why I came here. I don't know why, but I feel like it looks kind of like a horror movie, 곤지암. It's caused by the background music, maybe. Because the background music that you're hearing right now, the title is called Atmospheric Horror Synth Playlist. That's the playlist I found for you guys. This is all for you. It's all for you guys. Yes, it's very close to where I live. It doesn't even take 5 minutes by car. It's not even a 5-minute drive. Yeah, it's super close. Why? What don't you drowning sometimes on the back wall yourself? Oh, why don't I try drawing something in the back wall, like over here, like do a little sketch or something? I'll probably ruin it. It's gonna be terrible. That's probably a bad idea. I mean, it would be cool to have someone do that for me, but I probably wouldn't. That probably wouldn't be a good idea. No, I'm not in the U.S. I'm in Korea. I am in Korea, man. I am in Korea. I've been in Korea since 1994. Live kind of video stories based on your real story or just made up things? I think most of them are, well, saying that it's based on is a very loose term. Just because it's based on reality doesn't mean that it's all true. A lot of the content that I actually make are based on things that I encounter, that I experience in real life, but some of them aren't. So not all of them. So I guess the answer to your question is not all, but some, yes. Well, okay, so let's say, I think a lot of them are, but some of them aren't. If you feel hungry, you can go home and eat something. My wife, she actually helped me a lot getting this place like clean and organized. She did a lot of the actually dirty work because there was a lot of dirty spots. Especially, there's a very small sink over there in the other room, and there's some like overhead cabinets and cupboards, and she actually filled my cabinets with like snacks, like ramen, and there's I think there's like tuna cans in there. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want me to leave this place. Maybe she just wants me to live here. But anyway, she left me with a lot of snacks here, so I'll definitely be digging into that pretty soon. I'm actually looking into getting a few furniture, like a few sofas in here. I think I'm going to put at least 1 or 2 sofas over there. The area that I showed you earlier, I'm going to put at least 1 sofa, like 2 sofas there, so that I can actually, because I do want to do some different types of filming there. So no. Well, maybe like very short naps, but I'm come on. I live like 5 minutes away, so like what like what's the point of sleeping here? I have been up until now, and I still do. But it's just so time consuming, and I do want to spend more of my time on other more productive things. I'm not saying that editing is not productive, but I do want to prioritize how I spend my time a little better than I am doing now. Because at the moment, I feel like I have to spend too much time editing, and I really want to start. I never thought that I would actually come to this point, but I'm starting to think that I really need to outsource the editing part of my job. And so pretty soon, I don't know where to look right now. This is just a thought that I have right now, but I'm definitely considering getting an editor, like hiring an editor or teaming up with someone else who can edit. So I'm already a pig. Frank 이야기 다 외웠어요. 한 달 만에 드디어 도움 많이 돼요. 감사해요. Oh, that's great. I actually forgot that story. Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's almost 9 o'clock now. It's about a minute. We're about a minute away, less than a minute away. It's away from your place. Well, yeah, it's only about 5 minutes. What does getting this place? Getting this place? Do you remember the full sentence? What did I say? Did I say getting this place? Getting this place set up? Getting this place organized? Getting this place up and running? I think that's probably what I said. All right, let's begin. I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but hold on a second. 34. If you're 34, that's not the appropriate expression. You don't say 33살 먹고. That's you're still in your prime, man. That's great. Remember, the most important thing when it comes to learning English is not consuming education content. It's not consuming just online English like lecture videos. It's not about that. The most important thing is that you actually use the language, okay? Try to spend as much time as you can using the language instead of just consuming education content. Okay, that's very, very important. Yeah, use English. There's a difference between using English and consuming English lesson content. Do you know what I'm trying to say? There's a huge difference in that. And if all of your like the time you spend learning English must not equal to consuming English lectures and lesson videos. It can't be like that. Your English will never improve that way, okay? You have to use English. I know that's hard. I know some of you probably don't even know what that means. What is the name of the new place? That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't thought of a name. I guess it's just my office. Oh, thank you. I like these headphones too. Man cave. As far as I remember, my wife helps me a lot getting this place. Oh, my wife helped me a lot getting this place cleaned up and organized and set up. It's pretty much the same from what I said earlier, but 34, nice age. Come on, it's all relative. It's all relative. Sure, 34 is nice, but it's not as good as 33. And 33, sure, it's nice, but it's not as good as 32. It's all relative. Come on, it's all relative. 쌤 영상 한글 자막 보면 영어로 비슷한 문장이 떠오르긴 하는데 막상 외국인 만나서 말하려면 하나도 생각이 안 나요. This happens for the same reason that I explained earlier. You have to spend time using English instead of consuming English lesson lecture content. I don't know how else how else can I say this? Like what can I say to make you listen to me? How am I supposed to explain this? That is exactly why. This is exactly why you have to convert. You have to make a change in how you learn the language. You learn by using. You don't learn by studying. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You got to change how you learn English. You have to learn by using. You cannot rely on consuming English learning content, okay? 미국 사람들 T 발음 생략을 많이 해서 짜증나요. important 발음이 너무 어렵습니다. 한국어에서도 우리가 생략하는 발음 얼마나 많은데요. 짜증나면 지는 거예요. How can I improve speaking? You already know. Everybody knows. There is not a soul on this planet that does not know how to improve speaking. Everybody knows. Everybody knows how. Everybody knows how. Everybody knows. Hey, Tongpung님, what's up? It's been a long time, yeah? Oh, thank you. I love my new office too. 장생님? Hey, 장생님, what's up? It's been a while. Okay. Actually, there are still, like, no matter how much time I spend talking about it, no matter how much I stress it, even those who have heard me say this, it's really difficult to change people's minds, right? Don't you think so? It's really, really difficult because it is a belief that we have deeply that it is a belief that is deeply rooted in our system. It's so deeply rooted that it's so hard to change that. It's so difficult. And I don't know how else to say it. The only thing that I can do is just say it over and over again. And the fact is that you cannot rely on English learning content like on YouTube, books, things like that, online courses. You can't rely on those to learn English. And you should already know this. You have to switch to using English, actually using it, right? That's so important. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how else to say it, honestly. So, you guys ready for today's? Actually, I had to switch today's content, today's lesson, because I was actually planning to do something else, but I couldn't finish it before. I thought I could, but I couldn't. So I decided to just use one of the dialogues that I had. Okay, so today we're gonna go through a dialogue together. Oh, no. We don't have a fixed schedule. I'm afraid that we don't have a fixed schedule. Hopefully we will in the future, in the very near future, now that I'm almost fully moved in here and getting things pretty much set up. Hopefully we will have, yes, I am in my new studio. Yes, I am. How can I find way that speak English counterpartner? Go online. Go online. There are millions of people online already communicating. That's the easy way. That's the easy way. The hard thing to do is to actually meet people in real life, like person to person, right? Face to face. That's the hard part. But what I recommend is that you begin online communication before you go to offline communication. Because a lot of people who only think that interacting face to face is the only way to interact with a foreigner in English, it's actually that's a really scary thing. It's very overwhelming. For a first timer, it's a very overwhelming experience, and a lot of people can't make that big leap. Do you know what I'm trying to say? A lot of people can't make that leap. And so what I recommend is that you communicate with foreigners online first. That kind of experience, it will help you build it will help you have a sense of what to expect when you actually encounter a foreigner. Okay, and that, I think that's really, really important. Just do whatever you can. 부담까지 환생도 함께. Come on. let's not get too dramatic here. Online platform and community change. Reddit is one of the biggest. And okay, so all social media, Reddit, YouTube, and everything else like Twitter, Thread, everything. Any. The important thing is what do you have easy access to? Because there's no such thing as a better platform where you can learn English. Always the answer is what can you access more easily and more consistently? What do you feel less bored? What can you have more fun with? It's the same thing with like movies and you know, television like TV shows, right? Like which TV shows should I watch? It depends on what you like. No matter how good, no matter how effective this show was for someone else, it doesn't mean that you're going to have the same amount of fun with that. Chances are, if you're not into that stuff already, you're just going to get bored on the first episode and you're just going to quit. Even though someone recommends, oh, this is really good to improve your English, but if you can't watch it consistently for a long period of time, it's no use. So the most important question you have to ask yourself is, what can you do consistently for a long period of time without getting sick and tired of it? That's really, really important. Exactly, right. So it's the same thing. For like what platforms you choose, it's really up to you. It's really up to you. So, okay, so for instance, Duolingo, all right, so Mark says Duolingo is good, and he's probably right, yes. But that doesn't mean that you're gonna feel the same way, because everybody's different. It will affect your speaking for sure, just like reading a lot will affect your speaking as well, but you can't, it's not at an equal ratio. Like the more writing you do, the better you're speaking. No. It's really simple. It's really, like, think about this. If you do a lot of Korean, like let's say a foreigner does a lot of Korean writing, will their speaking become better too? It will affect it. It will influence their speaking to an extent, but you can't rely on writing to improve your speaking. That's like doing one thing and expecting something else to happen, right? So that's to an extent, to a very limited extent, I would say, to a very limited extent. Now, if you can already speak, right? If you can already speak on like a very casual level, right? If you can already use the language on a casual level, spoken language, those people, when they do a lot of writing and reading, it will affect their speaking a lot more significantly because they already have the foundation, right? And it's easier to build upon a foundation that you already have. But if you're having trouble just speaking, just casual, everyday, day-to-day speech stuff, then you can't rely on writing for that to improve your speaking. You know what I'm trying to say? 언어 천재 한국인이 언어 배우는 비법을 정말 엄청나게 시간 투자해서 공부한다고. I'm not exactly sure what this means, but I think this is kind of like what I'm trying to say. Use GPT, just use whatever you have, whatever you can. Do whatever you can. Do everything you can. Do everything. The most important thing is that you are consistent and you do it for a long period of time. No matter what method you use, if you're not consistent, if you can't maintain it for a long period of time, nothing's going to happen. 미드 한 편을 쉐도잉 연습한 후 20번쯤 보고 있는데 슬슬 지겨워져요. Of course. Of course. You have to use the language. When you actually use a skill in a practical way, listen to me very carefully. When you begin to use a skill for practical use, okay? So watching a TV show and just repeating it 20 times, that's not using the language practically. You're not practically using the language. You're just repeating, repeating a learning technique that someone probably, shared online. You're not using it practically. You have to begin using the language in a practical way. That's what you need to do. That's what everybody needs to do. And what I mean by that, let me give you an example. A lot of my viewers, a lot of my members, who are some of the viewers on my channel are members. They're paid members, right? And these members, some of these members come online on Discord and they communicate. They communicate day-to-day stuff on a daily basis. They share pictures of things they ate, places they went to, things they did. They talk about movies they saw. They do this on a daily basis. And so what is that? They're using, and they do this in English, by the way. And so what is that? They're using the language in a practical way. They're using the language in a practical way. And when you do that, it doesn't really matter whether you feel like you're improving or not, because you're using the language and you're communicating. That's why you started learning in the first place, right? Do you know what I'm trying to say here? Usually the reason that you feel stuck, the reason that you are stressed over not improving as much as the time that you put in, is because you're just repeating the learning techniques and not using the language practically. Think about driving. Do you worry that your driving skill is not, let's say you've been driving for 10 years. Usually when someone has been driving for 10 years, they don't really worry about whether their driving skills are improving or not. Why? Because they're using the driving skill practically on a daily basis. It gets the work done. They can get to work. They can go grocery shopping. They can pick their kids up. They can go to the beach. And it works. Their driving skill works, so they don't need to worry about, oh, am I improving or not? I've been driving for 10 years. Am I improving? No, because they're driving, they're using it for practical purposes. Same thing. Do you worry that your cooking skill is not improving? You've been cooking for let's say most of your life, most of your adult life. Do you worry that your cooking skill? No, because you can cook and people enjoy it. You can eat, and that's that. You don't need to worry about it because it gets the job done. That's what needs to happen with English. Okay? It's been a while. It's been a while. How do your teeth feel? Actually, they're not very comfortable, to be honest. There's a lot of, I don't know how to say this, but as I'm speaking, there's a lot of air that is being leaked in a way that is very unnatural. Because you can't notice, but I can feel that there is some space between my fake teeth and my gum, my front bottom gum. There's some space. They had to leave that space because they can't be touching each other. And so a lot of air is being leaked through that area. And so it makes pronunciating certain things very, very difficult and very unnatural. And I have to really focus not to make it sound so weird. Anyway. All right. So, anytime that we just chat like this, we always get into like the methodology, right? The methodology of learning a language. But everybody already knows. Don't lie to yourself. Don't tell yourself that you don't know how to improve your English language. Stop lying to you already know. You know exactly how. So I think what people are usually asking is there a way to do that more quickly and easily without putting in much time and effort? And the answer is no. That's what people are usually looking for. Anyway. Okay, let's begin. So I have a dialogue for you guys. I have a dialogue that I would like to share. Oh, no. This is not the answer, you guys. You guys, I don't know. It's not about working hard. You have to completely change your approach. You have to completely change your approach. And the only thing you really need is courage, actually. The only thing you really need is courage. Most people can't improve their English because they're scared. Yeah. Putting it into actual use. My headphones. It says, I'm going to write this. Okay, so hold on a second. On the side of my headphones, it says, that's what it says. That's what it says on the side. Kikinin, then how are you tuning into this stream? Are you using just 5G network? Or maybe they don't even have 5G. Is it 4G, like 3G network? I saw Kim Soo-yeon wearing them in Durejuru advertisement. You saw I don't know who Kim Soo-yeon is, but so you saw her wearing these? Okay, they must be pretty famous. Oh, you're right. Wait. Hold on a second. Is it gone? Did that really bother you that much? Much better. Oh, what? Okay. Let me ask you guys, have you ever had to explain to a foreign person about the tipping culture in Korea? Or the lack thereof? Have you ever had to explain about the tipping culture in Korea? How we don't really have one? No? All right, just asking. Just wanted to So how would you say this? How would you say this? Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. Oh, I said they because from the way I imagined this dialogue. Okay, so there are 3 people in this dialogue, and all 3 people are tourists. All 3 people are tourists from other countries in Korea. Okay? That's how I imagined this dialogue. That's why I said they. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. Yes, exactly. So in this sentence, they is people. People don't do that here. They don't do that here. Of course, if A is a local, okay, if A is a local, then it would be more appropriate to say we. Yes, that's right. But the way I imagine this dialogue, everyone here are foreigners. Okay. Dude is just a friendly way of addressing a guy. Just a friendly way to address a guy. Like, yeah. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here.
Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here.
They don't do that here. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. People here don't do that here. 일단 here가 2번 들어가는 건 어색해요. 근데 people here don't do that는 괜찮아요. People here don't do that. That's fine. That's fine. But I just feel that this is much more natural. They don't do that here. They don't do that here.
Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here.
They don't do that here. 힘을 좀 빼고요. 힘을 좀 빼고 they don't do that here. They don't do that here. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. 놈 녀석. 그냥 부를 때 그냥 야 같은 거예요. 남자한테 야라고 하는 거랑 비슷한 거예요. It's like, you know, addressing a guy like ya is like, dude. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What? Tipping? I don't know. I'm a guy. I'm a guy and I only have guy friends, so I don't know. You know, in some cases they also refer to girls dude, in some cases. Maybe just hey, what are you doing? They don't do that here. The in terms of meaning, the female version of dude is actually dudette, but they don't use it like this. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that before. In fact, I've actually heard girls use it to other girls as well in a very, very friendly way. In a very, very friendly way. Sometimes, yeah, I've actually heard that. I'm not saying that's very common, but depending on the relationship, depending on the situation, that it happens. Yeah.
Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here.
Yeah, dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What? Tipping? What? Tipping? 댓글이 걸렸다고요? What do you mean? 댓글이 걸리다뇨? What do you mean by that? Anyway, so, hey, dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What? Tipping? Yeah. I'll just say, yeah. How do you say like how do you say something 이런 얘기는 어떻게 하죠, 영어로? 야, 딱 요거라는 것은 아니고 이런 느낌으로 해요. 안 하기는 하지, like something like this. 이런 상황에서. Do you guys know how to say this? Anybody? Okay, yes they do도 좋아요. Yes they do. Yes they do. 그거를 좀 더 강조할 때 어떻게 얘기하는지 이렇게 갑자기 문득 기억이 나시는 분들 없으신가? 이게 지금 어떤 상황이냐면 네, 이거예요. 여러분, 이거예요. Sure they do. Sure they do. Sure they do. 이거는 그냥 이건가? 붙여서인가? Sure they do. 그러니까 긍정으로 반박을 할 때 아니야, 해. 아니야, 하지. 이런 느낌으로. Sure they do. Sure they do. Okay? 그러니까 이거에 대한 그거죠. 이거에 대한 response죠. This is a response to this. 잠깐만. 나 이거 손 어디 갔지? Here it is. So we have this back. Do you guys remember this? So this is a response to this. Okay, so they don't do, hey, dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. Sure they do. Sure they do. 이거에 대한 반응인 거예요. Sure they do. Okay? Sure they do. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What, tipping? Yeah. Sure they do. Sure they do. No, JP is right. I read about it. C다. No, JP is right. I read about it. 혹시 조금 줄임말인가요? 그러니까 they don't do that를 그냥 do라고만 대체를 한 거죠. 그게 아니라 한다. They don't do that라고 했잖아요. 야, 그거 안 해. 여기선 그거 안 해라고 했는데 아니야, 해라고만 한 거죠. 한다. 생략이라기보다는 sure they tip. sure they tip을 이걸로 대체를 한 거죠. 생략이라기보다는. Okay. No, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea.
Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What? Tipping? Yeah, sure they do.
Sure they do. Sure they do.
Dude, what are you doing? They do that here. What? Tipping? Yeah. Sure they do.
Sure they do. No, JP is right. 지금 세 번째 사람이 등장했어요. 세 번째 사람. 옆에서 듣고 있다가 아니야, JP 말이 맞아. 나도 읽어봤어. There's no tipping in Korea. 말도 안 돼. 말도 안 돼. 말도 안 돼. No way. Okay. No way. 오케이. 여기서 B가 여기서 C가 하는 얘기가 있는데요. 예전에 저희가 배웠던 거예요. 배웠던 건데 이런 식으로 이런 식의 표현을 우리가 알면 정말 좋아요. 평상시에 쓸 일이 정말 많아요. 청구서에 그걸 뭐라고 하죠? 서비스 차지, 서비스 비용이 이미 청구서에 포함이 돼 있대나 뭐래나 이런 식으로 우리가 얘기를 할 때 있죠. 계산서. 이런 식으로 얘기를 할 때 있죠. 서비스 비용이 뭐 이미 계산서에 포함이 돼 있대나 뭐래나. 이런 식의 표현 방식이 있죠. 그러니까 이게 나도 이거를 확실하게 알고 있는 게 아닌 거예요. It's not something that I know for a fact that I know a lot about. It's something that I have a very, very small amount of information on. We learned this a while back. 자, 이런 식의 표현을 할 때는 그 말을 어떻게 시작을 하느냐? 일단 이 사람이 어떻게 시작하냐면 something about라고 해요. something about. something about. something about. 오케이, 그러면은 이제는 이 자리에 어떤 그 명사절 또는 이렇게 구 같은 게 나와야 되겠죠? Something about the service charge already included. Being included라고 할까요? In the bill. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Hey, Yada Music, what's up? How's it going? 마이크 음향이 장난 아니라고요? 음향이 어떤데요? Does it sound good? I hope it sounds good. Are you saying that it sounds good or it sounds echoey or It sounds. Oh, really? Oh, that's great. That's excellent. I'm actually using a different mic. Yes, I know. Yes, I understand. There is a bit of echo, but I'm still trying to get used to this actually, but hopefully everybody else can get used to it as well. So okay, let's go back here. Okay, so C says C. I don't know what C's name is. So no, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. No way. Oh, 말도 안 돼. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. 그 서비스 비용이 이미 계산서에 뭐 포함이 돼 있대나 있대나 뭐래나 그런 식의 표현 방식이에요. It's not that elegant. Come on. So something about this isn't a very interesting. It's not that easy to learn because it's a very subtle kind of expression. But if you know how to use this, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to use this a lot because I tend to use this a lot because there are a lot of things that I'm not sure about. There are a lot of things that I've only heard that I have very little information on, but that I do know a little about. And so I tend to use this a lot. So something about the service charge already being included in the bill.
No, JP right. Read about it. There's no tipping in Korean. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill.
Does anybody here actually remember us covering this expression? Does anybody remember this? I believe I don't think it was a video. I think it was during one of our streams. But I'm pretty sure that we've used this expression at least once during our stream. No, we don't have to use being. We can omit this. We can leave this out. We can just say something about the service charge already included in the bill. Yes, JC cannot be with us today because she's not in Korea right now. She is not in Korea right now. All right. So, dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What? Tipping? Yeah. Sure they do. No, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about service charge already being included in the bill. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. 그 계산서에 이미 포함이 되어 있는 것, being, 있는 것. 이미 서비스 차지가 이미 계산서에 그 포함이 돼 있는 것에 대한 뭔가였다. 그것과 뭔가 관련된 내용이었는데 나도 잘은 모른다. 뭐 그랬대, 뭐 이렇대나 저랬대나 이런 식의 표현 방식이에요. Something about. Okay. Something about. Okay. Let's see. I'll show you another example. Where's Bill? Oh, Bill can't make it today. Why not? Not sure. But I think he has a family emergency. Something about his so it's kind of like this. Where's Bill? Oh, Bill can't make it today. Why not? I'm not sure. I think he has a family emergency. Something about his grandmother having to get another surgery. Okay? 그 할머니가 뭐 수술을 또 받아야 된다나 뭐래나? 이런 거래나 뭐래나 라는 식의 표현 방식. Something about. 이거를 계속해서 관한 무엇이었다라고 해석을 하면 안 돼요. 그러면은 계속 이거를 배울 수가 없어요. 뭐 할머니가 또 수술을 하셔야 된다나 뭐래나 딱 그런 느낌의 표현이에요. Something about. Okay? Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. 할머니가 또 수술을 하셔야 한다나 뭐래나. 그러니까 저도 이게 한국어 표현이 정확히 뭔지 모르겠어요. I don't know the exact Korean expression. 그런 식으로 쓰는 말 있잖아요. 근데 뭔지 아시죠? You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, JP is right. I read about it. There is no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about service charge already being included in the bill.
All right.
Where's Bill? Oh, Bill can make it today. Why not? I'm not sure, but I think he has a family emergency. Something about his grandmother having to get another surgery.
All right. So, 다시 얘기하지만 이 something about라는 표현을 쓰는 그 취지가 나도 자세히 아는 건 아니다. 근데 이런 것과 관련된 일인 것 같다라는 얘기예요. 딱 그냥 그 정도예요. 오케이? 뭐 이것과 관련된 것 같은데 나도 잘은 모르겠다. 결과적으로는 그 얘기예요. That's the gist of this. Okay? All right. This is good too. This is good too. This is good too. 수술해야 한다는 뭐 그런 건데. This works too. I think this is a good translation. 여러분 그거 아시죠? Her already having moved가 돼야죠. 그러니까 완료인 상태를 표현을 하려면 already having moved. already being moved는 뭐 그것도 말은 되는데 I would say already having moved. Something about she가 아니라 her. Something about her already having moved. Something about her already having moved. Something about her already having moved. Okay. Let's see. All right, so dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. 야, 뭐해? 여성 그런 거 안 해. What? Tipping? 뭐 팁 주는 거? Yeah. Sure they do. 안 하기는 하지. No, JP is right. 아니야, JP 말이 맞아. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. 자, 이럴 때 영어에서는요, 많이 쓰는 그 표현이 있어요. 그 무슨 표현이냐면, 언제부터 그랬냐? 그게 언제부터 그런 건데? 이거는 비교적 쉽죠? 언제부터 그런 건데? 그쵸? Since when? Since when? Since when? 자, 이거는 여러분이 다 해보세요. 이 다음 거는 여기서 A가 한번 얘기를 하는데요. 뭐 대충 이런 식으로 나오면 돼요. 내가 알기로는 늘 그래왔다. 자, 이런 얘기를 영어로 여러분이 하면 어떻게 하시겠어요? 내가 알기로는 늘 그랬는데. 내가 알기로는 늘 그랬어.
Where's Bill? Oh, Bill can't make it today. Why not? I'm not sure, but I think he has a family emergency. Something about his grandmother having to get another surgery.
All right, sounds good, Kiki님. All right, so as far as I know, it's always been that way. This is good. Good. As far as I know, it's been always like that. always의 위치가 먼저 been보다 앞에 나오는 게 좋아요. It's always been like that. He always do like that. 어떤 사람이 그런 게 아니라 늘 그런 식이었다. 어떤 현상을 얘기를 하는 거죠. 그렇죠? 그래서 it's always been like that. 이것도 여러 가지 방법이 있어요. 조금씩 변형을 해서 여러 가지 방법이 있는데 일단 저는 오늘은 이렇게 갈게요. It's always been like that. As far as I understand. As far as I know, as far as I understand, same thing. 근데 저는 대화를 짤 때 그냥 understand로 했었기 때문에 이걸로 할게요. It's always been like that. As far as I understand. It's always been like that as far as I understand. It's always been like that as far as I understand. 여러분, they've always done like that는 그 한국 사람들이 흔히 많이 틀리게 말하는 방식 중에 하나예요. do like that라는 표현은 일단 여러분이 do like that라는 이 표현에 익숙하시죠? 그 익숙한 감을 버려야 돼요. 그렇죠? do something like that가 돼요. 그러니까 do it 어떤 식으로든 뭐 대명사든 지시대명사든 뭔가는 나와야 돼요. do that like that, 뭐 do this like that, do it like that 이렇게 나오지 그냥 do like that는 안 돼요. 네, do like that라고 하는 경우는 일단 제가 지금 생각할 수 있는 한에서는 없어요. You do something like somehow. Okay? Yeah. Anyway. But that's kind of besides the point today. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What, tipping? Yeah. Sure they do. Nah, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that as far as I understand. It's always been like that as far as I understand. 그쵸? 이렇게 나와야죠. They've always done it like that. 항상 그런 식으로 해왔다. Okay? 항상 그런 식으로 해왔다가 done it like that예요. be는 아니에요. be는 왜냐면 be는 그 목적어가 필요 없잖아요. 무엇을 be 해왔다라고 할 필요 없잖아요. 그냥 늘 그래왔다. 늘 그런 식이었다. They've always been like that는 괜찮은데, 그러니까 이 두 문장만 기억하면 될 것 같아요. It's always been like that. they라고 할까요? 잠시만요. They've always been like that. 이거랑 잠깐만. They've always been like that, and they've always done it like that. Okay? They've always been like that. They've always done it like that. They've always been like that. They've always done it like that. 이거는 왜냐면 이 do는 다른 원래 어떤 정확한 의미가 있는 동사 대신에 나온 거죠. They've always cooked it like that. They've always repaired it like that. They've always sent it like that. They've always received it like that. They've always made it like that. They've always 무슨 얘기인지 알겠죠? Okay? 이거는 그냥 이거 자체로 의미가 완성이 되고요. They've always been like that. Anyway, 그쵸. 이제 talk는 조금 다르죠. talk는 목적어를 필요로 하지 않는 그 talk라는 것 자체로 it's already a complete action. So, dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What? Tipping? Yeah, sure they do. Nah, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that as far as I understand. It's always been like that as far as I understand. 빨리요. 빨리 떠올려 보세요. 본 채널에 계신 분들 이 정도면은 뭐 pretty easy, right? It's pretty basic stuff, right? pretty basic stuff. 이것만 봐도요. 보세요. 이 단어만 봐도 이 질문에 시제는 이미 너무나도 명확하게 이미 나와 있는 거예요. 그쵸? 현재 완료 시제가 쓰여야죠. 현재 완료 시제가 쓰여야죠. 물론 과거형으로 했다고 해서 의미가 전달이 안 되는 건 아니에요. 근데 현재 완료 시제를 쓰는 게 훨씬 더 자연스럽죠. 여태라는 것은 현재를 기점으로 보는 거잖아요. 오케이? 무슨 얘기인지 알겠죠? 현재를 기점으로 보는 거기 때문에 오케이. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? 물론 then의 위치는 먼저 와도 돼요. Well, then why the hell has no one ever told me? 좋아요. 근데 그냥 맨 마지막에 넣을게요. 그냥 이번에는. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? No, why on 괜찮아요. Why on earth 괜찮아요. Yeah, why the hell? Why the hell? Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then?
Well, why the hell has no one ever told me that?
Very good.
Something about service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that as far as I understand.
Okay, and what's this?
Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What? Tipping? Yeah, sure they do. No, JP's right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea.
Well, I read about it. 그리고 이거는요. 이거는 상대방이 부정인 걸로 알고 있던 게 긍정이 맞다라는 것을 이렇게 뒤집는 거기 때문에 sure they do. 약간 이렇게 억양을 이런 식으로 해줘야 돼. Sure they do. 아니야 안 하기는 하지. 이렇게 조금 그거를 뒤집는 거기 때문에 sure they do. Sure they do.
Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What? Tipping? Yeah, sure they do. No, JP's right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? Oh, it's always been like that as far as I understand. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me that?
Bravo. Bravo. Man, Russell, I gotta have you down here at the studio one of these days. We gotta do a dialogue together, man. Yeah. that was so cool. And are you using a British accent? I think he's using British accent for one of these characters.
Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What? Tipping? Yeah, sure they do. No, JP's right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? Oh, it's always been like that as far as I understand. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me that?
I don't need to read. 저 이제 안 읽을래요. I'm not gonna, I don't want to read. Oh gosh. Can you imagine someone actually talking like this? You're sitting at the table together. Oh man. Thank you. That's so cool. They don't do that here. And the next line. Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. 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 이 말은 어떻게 하죠? common knowledge인지는 모르겠는데, 그쵸? I don't know if it's right. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. 이것저것 찾아보다가 가장 먼저 알게 된 것 중 하나이긴 했다라는 얘기죠. 이게 이 내용이 이 의미고 이 내용이라는 건 딱 한 번만 이해하면 되고요. 그 다음부터는 네, 러셀 웨스트브룩처럼 계속해서 반복하시면 돼요. Okay? Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. 내가 이것저것 찾아보기 시작했을 때 가장 처음 알게 된 것 중 하나이긴 했다. 이긴 했다이기 때문에 was에 조금 강세를 주는 게 좋아요. That was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge. I don't know if it's 이거 같은 경우는 토들러 분들도 완벽하게 외우셔야 되는 것 중에 하나예요. 이거요. I don't know if it's 너무나도 쓸 일이 너무나도 많은 phrase예요. I don't know if it's this. I don't know if it's next week. I don't know if it's next month. I don't know if it's mine. I don't know if it's hers. I don't know if it's 등등등. I don't know if it's the recent updates. I don't know if it's expensive. I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't know if it's okay. 이거는 쓸 일이 너무너무 많아요. I'm not sure. 이 정도의 변형은 언제든지 주면 좋고요. Okay? So, well, I don't know if it's common knowledge. 이게 뭐 상식인지는 잘 모르겠지만, but that was, 근데 뭐뭐이긴 했어. But that was like one of the first things I learned. One of the first things. 이거는 one of the first things. 이런 거는 거의 한 단어처럼 후루루룩 나올 수 있어야 돼. 이거는 외워서 막 기억해내서 생각해내서 하는 말이 아니에요. One of the first things은 그냥 쭉 나와야 돼요. 한 번에 나와야 돼요. Okay? One of the first things. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? 아니, 그럼 도대체 지금까지 왜 아무도 나한테 얘기를 안 한 거야? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, 잠깐만. 이건 C네. C네. Okay. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up.
It's always been like that, as far as I understand. Well, why has no one ever told me that?
Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. you should buy a pair then. Buy a pair.
Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think.
All right. Got gam. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What, tipping? Yeah, sure they do. Nah, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that as far as I understand. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up.
Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but there was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up.
When I started looking things up. All right. Next. 자, 여기서 제가 좀 여러분이 주목했으면 하는 것은 적어도 좀 해야 하는 거 아니냐. 적어도 좀 해야 하는 거 아니냐. 적어도 좀 해봐야 되는 거 아니냐. Okay, at least. Okay. at least랑 무엇을 조합하면 좋을까요? At least you should. Okay, that works. 그것도 좋아요. At least you should 또는 뭐 you should at least. 근데 그 you should at least를 좀 다르게 phrasing을 하는 방법이 있어요. At least you should보다 저는 개인적으로 더 좋아하는 phrasing이 있어요. 조금 더 부드러운 표현인데 The least you could do 라는 표현 들어보셨어요? The least you could do? The least you could do? The least you could do? Yes, the least you could do. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a little quick search about the culture. Come on, Kenny. If you're gonna go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. To do요? I think you could, but I don't think it's necessary. I don't know if you should, but I'm pretty sure it's not necessary. But I am not 100% sure on that because my grammar sucks. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. The least you could do의 그 뉘앙스가 뭐냐면은요. The least you could do. 이 정도는 할 수 있지 않느냐. 적어도 이 정도는 할 수 있는 거 아니야? 좀 이 정도는 해야 하지 않겠어? 이런 느낌이에요. 에이, 그 정도는 할 수 있는 거 아니야? The least you could do. Okay? Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. All right. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What, tipping? Yeah, sure they do. Nah, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that as far as I understand. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. Hey, guys. Russell Westbrook just posted another voice message. Do you want to hear it? 일단 다른 분 거 먼저. 누구 거지?
Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture.
Johnny. Okay, that's good. Eurogani.
Come on, Kenny. If you're gonna be a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture.
All right. You guys ready?
Well, why the hell has no one ever told me that? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture.
Culture. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
If you're gonna speak English fluently, the least you could do is do a ultimately repetition.
YG. I see what you did there.
Come on, Kenny. If we're gonna go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture.
All right. Sounds good.
Come on, Kenny. If I'm gonna go to
If you're going to do something, the least you could do is 이런 비슷한 조합이 그 영어를 배우시는 여러분들이 이 조합을 연습을 하면서 같이 연습하면 좋은 조합이 또 하나 있어요. If you're gonna do something, the least you could do is 이거랑 이 앞에 거는 똑같이 조건절은 if you're gonna do something 뭐뭐 할 거면 혹시 떠오르는 패턴이 있으신가요? The least you could do 말고 if you're gonna do something the least you could do 말고 the least you could do 말고 왜 그거 있잖아요. 야, 어차피 이렇게 할 거면 어차피 이렇게 하면 아예 그냥 이렇게 해버려 라는 이런 뉘앙스 있잖아요. 그러면 이제 떠오르는 게 있죠. 그쵸. You might as well. You might as well도 이런 식의 if you're gonna'랑 너무나도 잘 어울려요. 잘 어울린다라는 거는 사실 그 이유는 하나예요. 많이 쓰인다라는 거예요. 할 거면은 그러니까 이렇게 되는 거죠. 이왕이라는 말이 앞에 붙으면서 나오는 거죠. 이왕 이렇게 할 거면 그냥 아예 이렇게까지 해. 이런 느낌으로요. If you're gonna do something, you might as well do this. Okay? If you're gonna do something, you might as well. Alright? 그쵸? 그렇게 되면은 이렇게 말이 나오면 이제 한국어에서는 앞에 이왕, 어차피 이런 수식어가 붙게 되죠. 야, 이왕 이렇게 할 거는 야, 그냥 이렇게까지 해. Right? Hey, if you're gonna spend some money, you might as well, spend a little more and get the higher model. 저희가 자주 쓰는 예문이죠. If you're gonna buy some things more, you might as well come along. Okay. Okay.
Come on, Kenny. If you're gonna go to foreign country, at least you could is do quick search about culture.
오케이. 그래서 아마 그동안은 오히려 그러니까 if you're gonna do something you might as well 패턴이 오히려 더 익숙했다가 오히려 이게 덜 익숙하신 분들도 계실 거예요. 그런 분들은 이제 이번 기회에 요거를 연습하시면 좋고요. Alright? So if you're gonna go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. If you're gonna ask her out, you might as well buy some flowers on your way out. Okay. All right. Yeah. If you're gonna go ask her out, if you're gonna go pick her up, sure. Yeah. If you're gonna go pick her up, you might as well, pick up some flowers on your way there. Okay. Moving on. So, dude, what are you doing? Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What, tipping? Yeah, sure they do. Nah, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that, as far as I understand. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. All right, let me highlight some important sections here. I don't know if this is important. One of the first things I learned, 까지. One of the first things I learned when it's always been like that. It's always been like that. Something about, the use of something about. Read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. Sure they do. Sure they do. Sure they do. 아니긴 이지 이런 식의 답변을 할 때요. 아니기는 이지. 오케이? 예를 들어서 넌 이거에 대해서 잘 모르잖아. Hey, you don't know much about this. 라고 했을 때, 모르긴, 나 잘 알지. Oh, no, sure I do. 이런 식의 그런 표현이에요. No, sure I do. 무슨 얘기인지 알겠죠? They don't do that here. 이런 말이 they don't do that 이런 게 정말 뭐냐면 영어를 진짜 많이 공부를 한다는 사람도 거의 100% 놓치는 그런 것 중에 하나예요. 진짜 별거 아닌 것 같은데 이렇게 얘기를 못하는 사람 진짜 많아요. 막 어려운 단어, 표현은 다 알면서 이런 진짜 우리가 그냥 무심코 실제 대화에서 하는 말 They don't do that here. 여기서는 그렇게 안 한다. 여기서는 그런 식으로 안 한다. 이런 얘기를 할 때 우리 말이랑 아예 말을 시작하는 방식이 달라요. 우리는 여기서는 그렇게 안 한다. 이 they의 존재가 아예 안 느껴진단 말이에요. 그러니까 이런 걸 좀 인지를 하면서 이거는 이런 식으로 얘기를 하는구나 라는 거를요. 오케이? Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What, tipping? Yeah, sure they do. Nah, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that, as far as I understand. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. All right, we're about halfway there. Hey, can you guys actually hear water running through the pipes in the ceiling? I can hear it really loud right now. I think someone upstairs is taking a shower, maybe. Can you actually hear the water running in my ceiling? No, you can't hear it? Not at all? Oh, interesting. Okay. So this microphone is doing its job. That's great. That's great. All right. Okay. All right, once more. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What, tipping? Yeah, sure they do. No, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that as far as I understand. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking at things up. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. 그래도 누군가는 얘기를 해줬어야지. This is so basic. 이 정도면 진짜 너무 쉽게 나와야 돼요. 토들러 분들도요. 에이, 그래도 누군가 얘기를 해줬어야지. Okay, yeah. 뭐 about it까지도 심지어 없어도 돼요. 그냥 still someone should have told me. Still, someone should have told me. 수도 없이 팁을 줬는데 르미님, must는 안 되는 건 아닌데 하면은 의미가 완전히 잘못 전달이 돼요. 그래서 안 하는 게 정말 중요해요. 안 되는 건 아니에요. 할 수는 있어요. 근데 의미 전달이 완전히 잘못돼요. So it's very important that you use should and not must. Okay? 사실 안 되는 건 없어요. 어떻게 하면 안 된다라는 건 없어요. 다 돼요. 다 되는데 어떻게 하는 게, you know, some things are more recommended than others, right? So I've tipped dozens of times. I've tipped dozens of times. I've already tipped dozens of times. I've tipped dozens of times. I've tipped dozens of times. Still, someone should have told me. I've tipped dozens of times. 그걸 뭐라고 하지? 사기가 아니라 그 뭐지? 바가지라고 하나? 그 왜 뜯기는 뜯기는 게 아니에요. 뭐가 적당한 거지? 뜯기는 거 맞나? 바가지? rip off? rip off? 뜯기다? 비슷하네. 뜯기 rip off? 뜯기는 삥이요? 삥은 잘 모르겠고 Still, someone should have told me. I've tipped dozens of times. You're telling me I got ripped off? 그냥 내가 Still, someone should have told me. I've tipped dozens of times. You're telling me I got ripped off? No one asked you to do it. 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 And no one's going to say no to free money. And no one's going to say no to free money. No one asked you to do it. And no one's going to say no to free money. 이 말은 어떻게 하죠? 중요한 거는 이 흐름이에요. 이런 얘기를 하면서 딱 이런 식으로 중간에 한번 이게 맞긴 하거든요. I wouldn't do that. 근데 딱 요런 흐름에서는요. 요런 흐름에서는 I know I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. 이런 느낌으로 얘기하는 거 많이 들어보셨죠? 쭉 얘기를 하다가 거기에 갑자기 자기 입장을 넣어서 나라도 안 그러 이럴 때 I know I wouldn't 이런 식으로 얘기를 많이 해요. I know I wouldn't. Hey, no one asked you to do it. And no one's going to say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't 뒤에 뭐가 생략돼 있죠? I know I wouldn't 뒤에 뭐가 생략이 돼 있어요? 그쵸. I know I wouldn't say no to free money. Okay. Still, someone should have told me. I've tipped dozens of times. You're telling me I got ripped off? No one asked you to do it. And no one's going to say to free money. I know I wouldn't. 네, 그쵸. 그 반대의 그 긍정, 플러스 마이너스가 반대인 경우에는 물론, 네, I know I would 라고 하겠죠. I know I would. 예를 들자면, who wouldn't take free money? 예를 들자면, who wouldn't take free money? 여기서 뭐라고 한다고요? Who wouldn't take free money? Who wouldn't take free money? I know I would. 그쵸? 이럴 때는 I know I would. 그쵸? 누가 꽁돈 돈 안 받겠냐? 나라도 받겠다. Yes, yes. 중간에 얘기를 쭉 하다가 중간에 내 입장을 거기에 대입시켰을 때도 나라도 그러겠다. 나라도 안 그러겠다. 이런 얘기를 할 때요. Okay? No one asked you to do it. And no one's going to say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. plus. 이것까지만 요 문장까지만 하고 잠깐 쉴게요. What time is it? 10:40? 이게 무슨 말일까요? Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. What does this mean? Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. 예약된? 네, 이거는 reserve, 여기서 reserved는 예약이 아니에요. 예약이라는 게 아니라, 좀 표현을 잘 안 하고, 그냥 좀, 말하자면 내성적인 건데, 그냥 단순히 내성적이라기보다는 좀 내성적인 건 맞죠. Yeah. reserved. 그쵸? 그러니까 말을 아끼고, 그러니까 표현을 잘 하지 않는? Yeah. Yeah. reserved. 네, 그쵸. 속내를 잘 안 드러내. Yes. Yes. Yes, that's right. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. 그러면서 무슨 얘기를 하냐면 they probably just felt uncomfortable saying no. No one asked you to do it. And no one's going to say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. They probably just felt uncomfortable saying no. All right, let's take a break, you guys. I think we need a break. Let's take a break. No, they're not very expensive. 이거 찾아보세요. 이렇게 검색을 해보세요. 이제 외운 것 같아. 이렇게 검색해보세요. 곶감 얼마나 남았냐고요? Not a lot. Not a lot. About five or six lines, I think. $75,000이요? 75,000원이라고요? Really? 나왔다. 29,500원인데? 잠깐만, 가격이 왜 이래? 어떤 거는 29,500원. And there's one that's 74,000? 88,000? What's wrong with the price? What is this? And there's one that's like 140,000. What the hell? I got ripped off. Telling me I got ripped off? How much did I get these for? I think I got them on Amazon. Orders. I paid $38.86. $38. So let's round that up to $40. I paid $40. I paid about 53,000 won, like 54,000 won. I paid about 54,000 won. Yeah. Oh, really? 선생님, 최저가에 진심이신 편이 최저가에 진심인 건 뭐예요? 최저가를 열심히 찾는 거요? 대충 사는 편이냐고요? Yeah, sure. I mean, I compare prices. I try to make sure that it's not like, like fake. I make sure that I'm not looking at a used product. I do some of that as long as it's new and it seems like it's from a certified seller. Then yeah, I just get it. I don't like try to get the cheapest. I don't try too hard or spend too much time looking for the cheapest one. Just whatever I can find. Yeah. 그걸 구매하기로 결정한 이유가 뭐냐고요? Well, I needed a pair of headphones to use during my streams. I don't use these headphones in any other circumstances. I only use these when I'm streaming. So I needed a light pair of headphones that would not make my ears sweat and that would fit comfortably over my head during the stream. Something that wasn't wireless, because I don't like using wireless headphones when I'm streaming because I don't like the latency that occurs, and it's just a hassle to keep it charged and everything. And so I was looking for a cheap pair of comfortable headphones that weren't wireless, and I came across these. Plus, I like the design as well. So, it's a neat cherry on top, right? 저도 귀에 물 기지가 생겼다고요? What is that? That sounds disgusting. I've heard. I know I have 기지. I don't know if I have 물 기지. Anyway, okay, but yeah, no, I recommend them. They actually sound pretty good. I'm actually quite surprised. I'm actually quite impressed how good they sound. I recommend them. Go get them. Go get them. 진득한 기지요? Oh, okay. Because you spend a lot of time with your headphones on? Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, then these are the headphones that you should get. You should get these. Buy them. 생방송에 자막을 입히다라는 내용을 adding subtitles to a live broadcast라고 표현하는 게 맞을까요? Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Behind the wheel, 운전하다인가요? It depends on how you use it. Yes. If someone is behind the wheel, it means that they're driving. If I ask you, so were you behind the wheel? It means, were you driving? Okay. Like, hey, who was behind the wheel? It's like, hey, who was driving? That looks like Carrot's head. Carrot's head. You should get Boss headphones. I'm sure there are tons of headphones that sound better than these, but most headphones, I even have the ridiculously expensive Apple AirPod. What are those called? AirPod Max. I have those, and those are really heavy, and they get very uncomfortable after a certain period of time. You're wearing them. The first time you put them on, yeah, they feel comfortable, but truth be told, most headphones feel comfortable the first 5 minutes or so. I mean, not even 5 minutes usually. There aren't a lot of headphones that are like very comfortable even after long periods of use. But I can attest to, I can say for sure through experience that these headphones are very, very, very comfortable. You should go out and get these. Get these headphones. Yeah, all other headphones suck. These are the best. You want headphones? You get these. You know, you need headphones? You need a pair of headphones? You get these. These are what all the cool people are wearing nowadays. That's right. 혹시 2012년 14년 대학로에 Maybe. It depends how much you know. It depends how much you remember. 그때 안경 써서 모자도 안 쓰셨던 것 같아요. 그때 진짜 잘 기억에 남았거든요. Well, in that case, yeah, that was me. Yep. You have a good memory there. That was me. That's right. That was me. That was all me. Yeah. It's been a long time no see there. How have you been? 손님이 매장에서 물건 못 고르고 주저하고 있을 때 어느 특정한 것을 추천할 때 does something work for you? 매장에서 물건 못 고르고 주저하고 있을 때 어떤 추천할 때 yes. Okay, yeah. Hey, how about this? Does this 저라면은요. 근데 does라고 안 하고 would라고 할 것 같아요. Would this work for you? 왜냐면 실제로 사용을 안 해보고 집어들면서 이건 어때요? 이거면 될까요? 될까요? 되나요? 보다는 될까요? So would. I would say would this work for you? Bose headphones are best known for being lightweight. Not as light as these. Nope. Not as light as these. 저 오늘 발문쌤 처음 듣는데 계속 듣는데 계속하면 스피킹이 늘 수 있을까요? 계속하면은요? 계속 뭘 하느냐에 따라 다르긴 하죠. 근데 이거에 대해서 할 수 있는 얘기는 많지만 가장 중요한 거는 실제로 영어를 많이 써야 돼요. 왜냐면 그거만큼은 절대로 변하지 않는 사실이에요. 여러분이 영어 공부에 대해서 이런저런 얘기도 많이 듣고 이런 사실 많이 알고 계시겠지만 여러분이 뭘 알고 계시든 여러분이 어떤 종류의 사람이든 어디서 무슨 일을 하고 있던 어떤 사람이든 절대 변하지 않는 사실은 영어는 써야 늘어요. 그건 당연한 거예요. 영어는 써야 늘어요. 공부를 한다거나 교육 컨텐츠를 계속 책을 계속 no. 영어를 써야 늘어요. 영어를 쓴다라는 것은 실제로 그러니까 교육용으로 제작된 컨텐츠 말고요. 실제로 영어가 쓰이는 거를 오늘 very much like this dialogue here. 실제로 영어가 쓰일 것 같은 이런 거예요. 이런 걸 많이 보고 듣고 나도 많이 그걸 따라 하려고 하고 이런 걸 많이 해야 돼요. 계속. 영화도 보고 그 커뮤니티 같은 데 가서 외국 사람들이 서로 소통하는 것도 많이 보고요. 그 영화 리뷰 같은 것도 사람들이 그 리뷰에 대해서 다는 것도 많이 읽어보고요. 그런 거요. 오케이? 그때도 진짜 열정적이셨고 진심으로 Damn right, yeah. You're goddamn right. That's right. That's right. I gave it my all. And my boss didn't care. My boss didn't see that. I'm just kidding. I had a great boss. Yeah. That's right. 조심히 Yep, that's right. Hey, we all change. What can I say? Yeah. Time changes the best of us. 근데 왜 그만뒀냐고요? You know, I had my reasons. Don't talk about that. That video belongs in I mean, yeah. Oh shit, it's 11 o'clock. Shit, okay. Hold on a second, yeah. Okay, we're almost done with this thing. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What, tipping? Yeah, sure they do. Nah, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that as far as I understand. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Come on, Kenny, if you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. Still, someone should have told me. I've tipped dozens of times. You're telling me I got ripped off? No one asked you to do it. And no one's going to say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. They probably just felt uncomfortable saying no.
No one asked you to do it, and no one's gonna say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. Plus, you know how
I know I wouldn't. 여기 이 표현을 쓰실 때는 이 I를 확 강조를 해줘야 돼요. I know I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. No one asked you to do it, and no one's going to say no to free money. I know I wouldn't, okay?
reserved people here can be. They probably just felt uncomfortable saying no.
All right. Yeah, so that's where we are. No one asked you to do it, and no one's going to say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. They probably just felt uncomfortable saying no. 아, 맞다. 아, 맞다. 그러고 보니 아, 맞다. 그러고 보니 아, 맞다. 그러고 보니 Oh, that reminds me. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, that reminds me. I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases. I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases. Oh, that reminds me. I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases. 여기서 뭐 크게 중요한 건 없어요. Maybe this, it's taken as an insult. 그쵸? 요 정도의 해석이 좋죠. IK님. Very good. Oh, that reminds me. I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases. 기분 나쁘게 받아들이다. Very good. 기분 나쁘게 생각하다, 기분 나쁘게 받아들이다. 어떤 경우에는 심지어 기분 나쁘게 그걸 받아들이는 기도한다고 어디서 읽었다. 그죠? Oh, that reminds me. I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases.
Still, someone should told me I've tipping dozens of time. You're telling me I've been ripped up?
No one asked you to do it. And no one's going to say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. They probably just felt uncomfortable saying no. Well, that reminds me, I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases. What? What? 그런 일은 아마 거의 없을 거야. 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 How would you say this? How would you say this? 공부계정님 잘하셨어요. 이렇게 막 해야 내가 잘못 알고 있는 거를 제대로 배울 수가 있고 몰랐던 것도 추가적으로 배울 수 있고요. 그렇죠? 아마 제가 모르겠어요. 그냥 알고 계시다가 잠깐 그냥 혼동이 왔던 것일 수도 있지만 지금 공부계정님이 가지고 계시는 아마라는 말과 영어의 maybe와의 이 연결고리를 지금 이 순간 바로 끊어야 돼요. 하지만 그게 잘 끊기지 않을 거예요. 이거를 끊는 데에만 뭐 시간이 엄청 걸리시는 분들도 있어요. 근데 그래서 제가 이거를 바로 이렇게 얘기를 하는 거예요. 아마는 maybe가 아니에요. 아마랑 maybe랑 같다고 생각하는 이게 의미가 일치한다라는 거를 오케이? 끊어야 돼요. 아마는 probably예요. 아마는 probably. maybe는 어쩌면이에요. 어쩌면. 어쩌면일 수도 있다가 maybe예요. 오케이? 어쩌면 일 수도 있다, 일지도 모른다. 일 수도 있고 아닐 수도 있는 게 maybe예요. 아마는 아마 그럴 거인 거죠. 그럴 가능성이 높은 거죠. probably. 오케이? 자, 이것도 뭐 표현할 수 있는 방법이 여러 가지가 있을 거예요. 저라면 That's probably very rare. That's probably very rare. 그래서 그 앞에서 소라킴님이 말씀하신 It might not happen도 틀려요. 왜냐면 might가 maybe랑 같은 의미죠. maybe랑 might 50%의 가능성을 일컫는 maybe랑 might. 가능성이 아주 높은 거. Probably. 아마 이럴 거다. Probably. That's probably very rare. That's probably very rare. 이거 만약에 very rare 발음이 좀 많이 어려우시다. That's probably very rare. probably도 어려운데 very rare까지 해야 돼. 이게 좀 많이 어려우시다면 이런 방법도 있어요. That probably 혹시 나왔나? 안 나왔나? Almost. That probably almost. That probably almost. That probably almost. What? 그쵸? Never what? Never happens, Joe. That probably almost never happens. Happens. That's잖아요. That probably almost never happens. That probably almost never happens. That probably almost never happens. That's probably very rare. That probably almost never happens. Yes, you're right. 진홍님, yeah, you're right. That's probably very rare. Yeah. Undercooked? rare는 뭔가 의도적으로 그렇게 구웠을 때 rare라고 하는 것 같고, 설익은 거, 의도했던 것과는 다르게 설익은 it's undercooked. It's probably very undercooked. Anyway, so that's probably very rare. That probably almost never happens. 탕문쌤도 Sesame Street 보고 자란 세대인가요? Sesame Street was on TV. It did air when I was in the States, but I did not watch it. I grew up watching Beavis and Butthead. I grew up watching Beavis and Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and Butthead. My favorite show as a kid, Beavis and Butthead. You guys know Beavis and Butthead, right? Of course you do. That was my favorite show. Oh, no. Beavis and Butthead. Beavis. Butthead. All right. Have a good night, 도경님. Beavis and Butthead. You guys don't know Beavis and Butthead? Oh my gosh. I highly recommend it. Oh, really? You've never heard of it? Wow. Okay. Well, it's I doubt that it aired on regular TV, but 그림 보면 다 알려나요? Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, that's probably very rare. That probably almost never happens. 귀여운 만화요? Ren and Stimpy was really cute, weren't they? They were probably a lot cuter than most other cartoon characters. Yeah, I know. But my parents didn't know that my brother and I enjoyed it, so. So there's this idea that tipping is considered disrespectful, like they're being given handouts. That's probably very rare. There's this idea that tipping is considered disrespectful, like they're being given handouts. There's this idea. 이런 어떤 그런 생각이 있다. 이런 식으로 생각하는 그런 게 있다. 그렇게 생각하는 사람들이 있다라는 거죠. 그런 경향이 있다라는 거죠. There's this idea. 이런 어떤 아이디어를 이제 이 아이디어는 이 아이디어가 아니라 그냥 그런 생각인 거예요. 어떻게 보면 이제 사고방식, 관점이라고도 볼 수 있죠. So there's this idea that 뭐 belief이라고 할 수도 있겠네요. There's this belief that tipping is considered disrespectful. consider 빼는 게 좋겠다. 아이디어니까. So there's this idea that tipping is disrespectful. Like 뭐뭐처럼 they're being given handouts. 그냥 그 뭐라고 하죠? 그 왜 구걸해서 받는 돈 있죠. 적선? 거저 주는 것? Yeah. 약간 그쵸. 그냥 적선이라고 하나요? Yeah. Anyway, I think everybody gets it. Okay. So there's this idea that tipping is disrespectful, like they're being given handouts. I get, yeah, it's kind of like charity, I guess, if you think about it. 자, 여기서 케니가요. Some ego they must have. 무슨 말일까요? Some ego they must have. Oh wait, hold on, you guys. Hold on.
Still, somebody should have told me. I've tipped dozens of times. You're telling me I got ripped up? No one asked you to do it. And no one's gonna say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. They probably just felt uncomfortable saying no. Oh, that reminds me. I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases. What?
Some ego they must have. Some ego they must have. 와, 자존심이 보통이 아닌가 본데 약간 이런 식의 얘기죠. 자존심이 보통이 아닌가 본데 some ego they must have. 이 말 어떻게 하죠? 이 말은 정말 쉽게 나와야 돼요. 그거랑은 상관없어. It has nothing to do with that. 또는 that has nothing to do with it. 지금 같은 경우는 they're almost exactly the same. It has nothing to do with that. That has nothing to do with it. 그리고 많은 원어민들이 요 말을 하는 요 타이밍 때 이거를 어떻게 얘기를 it has nothing, that has nothing, it doesn't have anything. 이런 식으로도 얘기를 하는데요. 이런 식으로 얘기를 하는데 그냥 편하게 얘기를 하는 원어민들이 어떻게 얘기하는 거를 정말 많이 들을 수가 있냐면 It's got nothing. 이렇게도 많이 얘기를 해요. It's got nothing to do with that. 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 Some ego they must have. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just not part of their culture. 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 Nothing's got to do with that. 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 That sounds odd. Nothing's got to do with that. I don't know what that means. Nothing's got to do with that. Nothing's got to do with that. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. I don't know what that means. Nothing's got to do with that. It's just not part of their culture. It has nothing to do with that. It's just not part of their culture. Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. I feel like I've heard it. It sounds, for some reason, it sounds familiar. Probably because it shares a lot of the same words, but I don't even know what that means. It's just not part of their culture. And 거의 다 끝났어요. 거의 다 끝났어요. And JP's right. And JP's right. It's probably just an awkward thing for them. That's it. 뭐뭐로 끝나다 할 때 and 뒤에 명사 가능한가요? 그렇게 공식으로 하려고 하지 말고요. 써보세요. 지금 호이크님이 생각하시는 그거에 따라서 실제로 문장을 만들어 보세요. And show me. And 그의 계획은 재앙으로 끝나버렸다. 네, 그걸 영어로 한번 해보세요. Ended. 오케이, 그렇게 하려면 ended in a disaster라고 해야 돼요. Ended in a disaster. His plans ended in a disaster. Ended disaster라고 하면은 I think people would understand, but it just sounds very unnatural. It ended in a disaster. And something ended in a disaster. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What, tipping? Yeah. Sure they do. No, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that as far as I understand. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. Still, someone should have told me. I've tipped dozens of times. You're telling me I got ripped off? No one asked you to do it. And no one's going to say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. They probably just felt uncomfortable saying no. Oh, that reminds me. I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases. What? That's probably very rare. That probably almost never happens. There's this idea that tipping is disrespectful, like they're being given handouts. Some ego they must have. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just not part of their culture. And JP's right. It's probably just an awkward thing for them. 거기에서의 end는요, 어떤 용법이 쓰인 게 아니라 그냥 일반 무엇을 끝내다, 무엇을 끝내다라는 그냥 동사로 쓰인 거고, what would have otherwise라는 그 phrase 전체가 다 목적어예요. 그거를 끝내다. 상황이 달랐더라면 이랬을 수도 있었던 것을 끝내버렸다. 그 스캔들이. 그 스캔들이 끝냈다. 무엇을 끝냈다? 상황이 달랐더라면 이랬을 수도 있었던 것을 끝냈다. Yeah. ended in a disaster라고 하면은 그 계획 자체가 그 disaster인 상태로 변해버린 거고요. 그러니까 즉 plan이 disaster가 돼버린 거고, ended with a disaster라고 하면은 어떤 재앙스러운 일이 발생해서 그의 계획이 끝난 거죠. 그러니까 disaster의 형태로 그게, 그러니까 그의 계획이 끝나서 그 마지막 모습이 disaster냐? 그럼 in a disaster. With a disaster면은 그 일이 발생하면서, disaster가 발생하면서 그러면서 이제 끝난 거죠. That's what that is. 만일 손님과 대화 중 의견 반대하면서 I don't see it that way라고 하면 무례하지 않을까요? No. No. 하지만 그 상대방이 누구냐? 어떤 성격의 소유자냐에 따라서 물론 그거를 무례하게 받아들일 수는 있어요. But there is absolutely nothing inherently wrong with saying I don't see it that way. People can have different views, people can have different opinions, people can have different way of thinking, people can have different perspectives, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Those who cannot tolerate different perspective and views, I say they are the problem. It's illegal to ask for tips since the law defines all merchants should show the final prices on their menu. Okay, is that the way it is in Korea? I'm guessing that's the way it is in Korea, yeah? Okay. Sir, with all due respect, I don't see it that way. Yeah, I mean, sure, that would soften things up, for sure. But, you know, I don't feel that you always have to say it like that just because you're disagreeing with someone. Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What, tipping? Yeah. Sure they do. Nah, JP is right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that, as far as I understand. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me then? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is do a quick search about the culture. Still, someone should have told me. I've tipped dozens of times. You're telling me I got ripped off? No one asked you to do it. And no one's going to say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. They probably just felt uncomfortable saying no. Oh, that reminds me. I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases. What? That's probably very rare. There's this idea that tipping is disrespectful, like they're being given handouts. Some ego they must have. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just not part of their culture. And JP's right. It's probably just an awkward thing for them.
Oh, that reminds me. I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases. What? That's probably very rare. That probably almost never happens.
They probably very rare. That probably almost never happens.
All right.
There's this idea that tipping is disrespectful, like they're being given handouts. Some ego they must have. It has nothing to do with that. It's just not part of their culture, and JP's right. It's probably just an awkward thing for them.
Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What? Tipping? Yeah. Sure they do. No. JP's right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that, as far as I understand. Well, why the hell has no one ever told me that? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is to do a quick search about their culture. Still, someone should have told me. I've tipped dozens of times. You're telling me I got ripped off? No one asked you to do it. And no one's gonna say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. They probably just felt uncomfortable saying no. Oh, that reminds me. I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases. What? That's probably very rare. There's this idea that tipping is disrespectful, like they're being given handouts. Some ego they must have. It has nothing to do with that. It's just not part of their culture. And JP's right. It's probably just an awkward thing for them.
I'm not going to follow that. I can't read it anymore. Okay. Hey, if you guys want to gain access to these voice recordings, come on Discord, join us. All right. All right, that's great. Okay, it's already 11:30. I think we should all go home now. All right. Let's wrap this up. is not. That's odd. Oh, right. 이거 진짜 중요한 거네. Okay, let's copy and paste this. 저인가?
Dude, what are you doing? They don't do that here. What? Tipping? Yeah. Sure they do. No. JP's right. I read about it. There's no tipping in Korea. No way. Something about the service charge already being included in the bill. Since when? It's always been like that, as far as I understand.
Since when?
Well, why the hell has no one ever told me that? Well, it's pretty common knowledge, I think. Well, I don't know if it's common knowledge, but that was like one of the first things I learned when I started looking things up. Come on, Kenny. If you're going to go to a foreign country, the least you could do is to do a quick search about their culture. Still, someone should have told me. I've tipped dozens of times. You're telling me I got ripped off? No one asked you to do it. And no one's gonna say no to free money. I know I wouldn't. Plus, you know how reserved people here can be. They probably just felt uncomfortable saying no. Oh, that reminds me. I think I read that it's even taken as an insult in some cases. What? That's probably very rare. There's this idea that tipping is disrespectful, like they're being given handouts. Some ego they must have. It has nothing to do with that. It's just not part of their culture. And JP's right. It's probably just an awkward thing for them.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to today's stream. I had a lot of fun with this one, and special thanks to Russell Westbrook. That was very fun. I would love to have Russell Westbrook join us again in a future live stream, or maybe even a future video. Okay, everybody, have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you all hopefully very soon. Oh, wait. What's our subscriber count right now? Our subscriber count is... Okay, we still need 131. We only gained 2 subscribers during the stream. Can you believe that? We only gained 2 subscribers. We still need 131 more. It's not gonna happen. It's probably not gonna happen it's not gonna happen this week. No. All right. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night, everybody.